This morning I'm gonna introduce you to the new Stumpjumper 2021 model. This one is a Nestworks frame. I went all in with all the Fox Kashima factory seat post. The shock came with it, but the 34 at 140. I talked to the guys at Specialized and I stayed to the spec at 140, 130 in the back to not change the geo. If you start changing stuff around and putting bigger travel and bigger forks, it's gonna kind of change the characteristics, and it's not the point on that bike. You better get to the Stumpjumper Evo if you're gonna do that. So I have the Stans Arch CB7 carbon wheels, 2.4 dissector in the front, 235 Icon double D casing rear tire, and then I got access. Once you start using it, you can't go back. I found that the gold touch would be nice with that green gold sparkle color, whatever you want to call it. So I'm really happy how it came out. Yeah, one of the nicest build I've done for sure. So as you can see, they went away from the FSR and eliminated what should be a pivot in the bearing right here, and it saved some weight on that, but also just basically single pivot linkage driven suspension gives a different characteristic to the bike compared to the previous model, and they did that on the Epic Evo earlier this year. But on the Epic, I was kind of surprised. It made that bike very cross-country like, which I guess it is, and I would say it's a big cross-country bike that you can do marathon races and some trail riding, but it didn't give it the trail-like feel that I wanted. But on this Stumpjumper, this gives a lot of progression to the rear travel. As you go deeper into it, the seat stay flexes slightly, which makes it very progressive. So they also changed the sizing to match the Enduro and the Evo, and I went for the S2. I'm just under 5'7", and S2 seems really perfect for me. I can probably ride the S3, but I would have to have a very short stem, and it seems to change kind of the relation between the handlebars and the fork. So I like to stay around 40-45 stem. Those guys kept the high and low position. So here in the desert, I put it in the high immediately. You do need that ground clearance, and it's been working better on the Enduro, on the Evo, and on the previous Stumpjumper, so I just went straight to that. And as far as how this bike rides, I'd say the shocking word would be smooth. Like the first ride was just, the contact to the ground is so soft and nice, but yet the bike feels like super fast. And for those who ride e-bikes often, the fact that you can go that fast just makes you want to pedal harder, and I have the same kind of feeling with this bike. It's like every time you just want to go because the bike keeps going faster. So I'm excited to be riding this for the next few months and get more used to it. I've already played with a couple different wheel sets, and having bigger tires gives it even more of a trail-like feel, especially for here. And I know it's cliche, but Specialized advertises it as the ultimate trail bike, and honestly it is pretty close to that. I don't think it's got too much limit with those new angles and longer wheelbase. It's just about handling it right, but that'll be a good bike to have around.